Right, hopefully we should be live again. Nothing's wrong with my mother. I don't know why she couldn't have just texted me that in the first place, but anyhow, um, I suppose I'll start from the beginning with this bricks and minifig situation. I suppose because well, I've just had to restart the stream again because this is what happens when I have to do my when I have to do, my live streams on a fucking phone because I haven't got any space for like a computer or something like that. So, yeah, we've had a few updates to this bricks and minifig situation. We've had obviously the redacted body cam footage unredacted through a mistake through the American Police Department. Bricks and minifigs have done 2 blog posts. They've done a timeline of events. They've also done a statement saying that Josh and Brandon, who are the owners of the Oregon store, saying that they are no longer being franchise owners. And we've also had a spout of, I actually am surprised this took as long as it did to happen. That we've got Lego vigilantes as well going into bricks and minifig stores and doing stuff like that. So, I suppose actually before we talk about the unredacted body cam footage again, even though it barely got started for like a stream that was like 5 minutes ago, the Lego vigilantes, which I suppose we'll actually get that up. Which was from CoffeeZilla's second channel. I can't spell. Yeah, because he is investigating this situation, and all I will say after we see some of these, and then we'll go back to unredacted body cam footage.
Hello, the bricks and minifigs investigation is coming. It's 51 minutes at this point.
So he is doing an investigation on it, which is, for fuck's sake, I don't know why does my camera do this whenever I try and shrink it? That's so annoying. That's unbelievably annoying. There we are. So CoffeeZilla is doing a video on the bricks and minifig situation, which, if this isn't getting big, well, I mean, it already is big, but, when CoffeeZilla, Penguin Zero, like every, big streamer and YouTuber's doing something about this is, on the verge of hitting mainstream. I mean, Reckless Ben, Amon McNeff, the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs, they've been on news. I think, was it Fox? I think it might have been Fox over in the US. But yeah, we have people. We now have people. Actually, no, they're not people. These guys are complete fucking twats. Because there is no reason to do this, because this does not help anyone. And it just doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help Brian and his family, who want to get either the money reimbursed or the Lego back, whatever side. It doesn't help Reckless Ben. The only people this does help are the bad people in this situation, bricks and minifigs, because I imagine they'd be stupid to not use this and say, because of Reckless Ben's videos and, the stunts that he has done, in order to try and get the Lego or the money back to Brian and his family, that, he's causing, people like this to go and, harass or intimidate, whatever term you want to use, and just go for other bricks and minifig stores, which aren't involved in this situation. Not all bricks and minifig stores are not like the one that, Josh and Brandon owned. They're not, they are completely innocent in this situation. And it is just because they have the Bricks and Minifigs logo and name on top of the store. The only reason why, these are being targeted by complete fucking dickheads and just people who just lack complete common sense, of which common sense isn't really a thing anymore in people's brains. So, it's just... there is just no need for this. There would be one that's gone more viral is the one where I know, this is going to be blood, obviously, because I fucking hate ads. I fucking hate ads so much when I'm trying to discuss something. So we have the person in blue, which I imagine's either like the store owner or a manager. We're definitely an employee. I would assume. We have the guy in green who is instigating this whole kerfuffle. Which again, this guy's a complete fucking moron. And then we have the guy in the tank top and shorts. Just coming over to confront this guy and sort the situation out, which...
You can see the walk up, the heroes walk up. People like...
I get... No winners in this because, spoiler alert, they just end up fighting, which, I will say, the guy in the green, has... this fight, thank God it's blurred because this is pretty brutal. If this stream gets taken down, I'm going to be in so much trouble. There we go. On the floor already. Punches to the head, which, punches to the head are not, they're not good, to put it lightly. You'd know, because the brain is a very, 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 very important part of the human body. Yeah, so this guy in the green, even though the guy in the black tank top, started this fight, the guy in the green hoodie finished it. Yeah, probably got arrested. I think probably you guys most... Well, I think we probably should be arrested, both of them, because there was a fight. And there is the voice of a kid. So there's a child in the store. Come on, guy. Come on. I thought human beings were more evolved than this. Why did people... I don't know why people thought it was a good idea. Because, again, this does not help Brian and his family. This does not help just the community in general, who, to be fair, up until this point, we had not had anything like this happening in other Bricks and Minifig stores. It's only till a couple of days ago that we found out this was going on. And I don't agree with this. I don't think anyone should be really agreeing with this. So, and if you're one of those that do agree with this, no, you're a complete fucking idiot. You just are. But yeah, but the guy in green definitely won the fight. Definitely won the fight. But yeah, I mean, damn. So that was interesting. That was something. Definitely something. So, yeah. Did that need to... Do Bricks and do these need to be happening? No, they don't. That does not need to be happening whatsoever. Yeah, that is just sad. Just we don't need to resort to violence in this situation. The only people this helps is Bricks and Minifigs, who like, I imagine will probably use that to in their lawsuit against Reckless Ben, which, again, I don't know why they're doing that, because there was a tweet that I saw. I mean, I don't use Twitter anymore. Thank God I don't. But, you know, there was a tweet in another video I was watching on this is that Bricks and Mini, like, they're not going to win. They're not, in the court of public opinion, they're not going to win this because, yeah, in their lawsuit, they, you know, they're trying to destroy Reckless Ben, and they would destroy Reckless Ben. And that doesn't look good for them. It just does not look good for them. I can't remember what the tweet is now, actually, come to think of it. I've got a brain like a sieve this morning. But, yeah, that is, that's not, it's not correct. That should not be happening. So, yeah, anyone participating in these Lego Vigilante Justice dish outs, don't, because these bricks, the other Bricks and Minifig stores have nothing to do with this situation. It is only that store in Oregon that was owned by Josh and Brandon, and yeah, that is just don't do that. Anyway, before I got interrupted by my mother with her call about bringing the washing in, don't know why she could have done that over text. Anyway, we have we'll go back to the unredacted police footage, body cam footage, because that got leaked. It didn't, you know, the American Fork Police Department wasn't hacked like I've seen some people saying. It was just purely down to the fact that this link that takes you to the body cam footage, it was just an accident. It was just an accident. A very unfortunate accident for them, for American Fork Police Department's end. But it was a good thing for us because this unredacted footage makes the AFPD look even worse than they already did. Even throughout this redacted footage, which is now, obviously, we see it all now, it makes Josh look like a complete fucking pussy. And I would also, Josh, I know you're not watching this, but please, when you're outside, put some fucking socks and shoes on. My God. That is a pet peeve. I do not understand how anyone can walk outside barefoot. That's just a pet peeve of mine. But it also doesn't make Ammon McNeff, the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs, look very good. Because he is on the phone to Josh when the police are there, and it is all on body cam, which we have the audio for now. Because it is basically Ammon on the phone with Josh, with the police, saying, look, can you get these guys for something in regards to Reckless Ben? Josh also tries to claim, excuse me, that the process server that Ben had with him on one of the days was not a legal process server. And Utah's law, there's the what are the points? Oh yeah, so process servers in Utah have to be over the age of 18, which I would say that process server definitely was, and must have like no previous knowledge of the case, or just like be like not affiliated with any other with the side that is serving the papers. So that obviously didn't work out very well for them. For Josh, I should say. And then what else do we? What else could we go over on that redacted body cam footage? Oh yeah, the handing over of papers, which we didn't see previously. We saw that now. Josh calls Ben an idiot, which, I mean, okay. Come up with some more creative insults. And what else happened? Yeah, it's still, you know, the reviews of the papers, we went over this a couple of days ago. You can't refuse being served. The police officer, what the police officer should have done is say that, just leave him on the floor, essentially, or just leave him by Josh, because you can't refuse to get served. And it also contradicts what is said in this video, I believe, as well, because they say that Josh had been served those papers a few days before. But obviously, in terms of, I'd say, Josh's body language and his response, don't think that's the case. And also, obviously, they find that when the police find out that lawsuit is real, is a real case, the officer mutes his microphone on his body cam. Not the actual. That wasn't the actual police department doing it because of privacy reasons, is what they give. It was just the police officer on their own muting it themselves, which doesn't look very good if you ask me. And I think that's really it. I think that's probably the most damning ones. We do have footage as well, unredacted, of the raid on the Airbnb that Ben and his crew were staying at. So, I think the officer leading that the warrant for the search warrant said that these are YouTubers, so they're probably just going to try and record this, so don't let them do it. Okay. Actually, going back to that, Josh keeps on banging on about when when the police are talking to him, it's like, oh, he's a YouTuber and this is all fake. So it's like, it's still, it seems like some people still don't take YouTube seriously, it seems like. It definitely doesn't. So, yeah, that is, that's not, again, those body cam footage does not make, anyone who are the bad guys in this situation look any better. It just makes them look worse. But I suppose we'll go over the Bricks and Minifigs statement, shall we? Not my Gmail. Fuck's sakes. I want Google. Thank you. Right. So I need that to load up because they've got two blogs to go over, I guess. And we'll go over the timeline first because this is I did have a glance at this, so we'll see. We don't need to go over the foundation of Bricks and Minifigs. That's just, again, and then obviously Brian and his family, Ed and Brian, doing the collection. It's fine. The $200,000 figure circulating public Facebook posts. Again, Bricks and Minifigs, they keep on changing this because it goes from obviously, in Ben's video, the title was, $200,000. Then it goes to 75,000, then it goes up to 100,000. And it is also seems like there's also comes to light that Brian and his family have actually been paid for some of the Lego because some of it was actually sold by Crystal, who owned the store before before Josh and Brian. There's two Brians in this situation. It's going to get confusing. But Brian Mansell has been paid money from this already. Unauthorized co-assignment agreement is made. This is not unauthorized. I don't understand why Bricks and Minifigs continue to die on this hill that this wasn't unauthorized, because we have the franchise agreement that consignments were allowed at that time. So I don't know why are they continuing to die on this hill when we have information that completely goes against what they keep on saying. But it always seems to be like, this agreement was never authorized or approved by BAM. BAM Corporate was not made fully aware of this agreement. Crystal entered this side deal as a personal arrangement and or as the owner of the Salem, Oregon location. Crystal never introduced BAM Corporate to Brian and was not aware of any unauthorized consignment agreement. The unauthorized consignment agreement included a clause which allowed either party to terminate within 30 days of written notices. It also included a clause requiring Crystal to ensure the collection. No evidence of any insurance has been discovered. Okay, but again, we know that consignments. Yes, mate, you can get a shout out. There you go. Win, I forgot you were subscribed to this channel. I actually forgot. So yeah, there's your shout out, mate. That was a terrible shout out for me. That was absolutely god awful. So yeah, this consignment, I do not understand why they continue to die on this hill when we do have evidence of a previous agreement that Crystal had signed for the franchise to say that we had it. Well, no, not had it, but the consignments were allowed. Did I get a birthday? My birthday, yeah. Yeah, it was nice, slowly approaching Unk status. We're both 27 now, so we're slowly getting. It's crazy that we're both closer to 30 than we are 20. That is mad. So November 7th to the 12th, 23. Again, I do forget this situation has been going on for a few years as well. It was only till Reckless Ben's video that it came to light. So November 7th, 23, Crystal posted a formal announcement on the store's official Facebook promoting product display of the Mantle collection November 11th to 12th. But man would never achieve Unk status. Okay. Yeah. Okay. When does Unk status ever become a thing? I thought it was like past the age of 30. Is that how bad of the internet I am not aware of? I'm not wording now. So yeah, the post used 200,000 promotional figure, Crystal's corporate email address at the time, salonbooksminifigs.com, as the press conference has also confirmed the collection would be stored off-site after hours for security. Suppose that does actually make sense, considering, and whether it's like $200,000 or like $100,000, it's still a lot. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Additionally, after the public display, the social media post indicated that the collection would not be kept in store after November 12th, 23. After the event took place, Ed Mansell, the reported 83 father of Brian, who entered the consignment agreement with Crystal, attended the pre-sale and was photographed alongside Crystal with the collection on display. And then Brian posted on his own Facebook. That's again, we knew all this. 23, so November 23 to October 24, monthly payments, and disorganized tracking systems by Crystal, the owner of Salem, Oregon location at the time. Now, Crystal's side of the story, I don't really know that much about, so, yeah, they do seem to be hammering home bricks and minifigs. Like, this is all Crystal's doing. This is all Crystal's fault. The previous owner of the store before Josh took it over. So for approximately 1 year, Brian visited the store monthly around the 15th to collect paper receipts and check for his share of the sales. Okay. Received approximately $15,000 in total of payments during this period. As we stated on Collector's Weekly podcast on 16th of April 2025. Can you please provide a link to that, please? I am fed up with people not providing sources to their arguments when we're trying to make them. That would be great if you could have posted the link there so we could verify what we're saying right here, right now, and I don't have to go through calling through the entire thing. A timestamp would be great as well, so that we could actually verify this. That would be great. Though not disclosed or known by her, Crystal apparently marked his sets with small removable stickers to keep track of them as man-sell consignment inventory, so cashiers could track sales and file receipt for monthly payouts. This information was not explicitly disclosed by Crystal to the store staff during her tenure as to why, nor the incoming franchise owner in November 2024 upon her departure. Again, we need Crystal to verify that. I don't think she'd be that stupid to, do that, because in my head as well, I would be thinking that, what was I going to say? Love you too. What was I going to say? If I was, working at, this store, if I saw these little stickers, I'd be asking us, like, what's the reason with these stickers on the what's the reason with these stickers on these Lego sets? Are they, that's important? Am I just not thinking? Am I just not thinking right? Would I think I'd be doing that? So yeah, that's what I would be doing, and I would be very surprised if Crystal had not told her staff, "Hey, if you see you sell a set with these stickers on, these are to do with this consignment that we agreed with." Excuse me. If all items had sold, Brian and Crystal estimated total sales to have been approximately $100,000 before the consignment split, consistent with documented value and verbally stated by Brian on the Collector's Weekly podcast. $100,000 probably it's probably somewhere around the correct figure, because the consignment agreement that was signed, it was 65-35 and 65 to Brian and 35 to the store. So that does kind of, work out. So that does make a bit of sense there. BAM's investigation has uncovered 3 separate spreadsheets Crystal maintained on the collection, showing different sales figures. POS data shows that at least 52,000 and likely more were sold during Crystal's tenure. She underreported sales to Brian by a significant amount. So these 3 spreadsheets, obviously I've seen Ryan of M&R Productions video out on this bit. So those 3 spreadsheets, obviously one of them had to be, what the sets are, Obviously a whole inventory list of what Brian's Lego sets are, and how, like however many are, like, I don't know, like he had, I don't know, 10 sets of, I don't know, Anakin's Jedi Interceptor or Starfighter, or, like 10 battle packs of the same thing. So I imagine it'd be something to do with that. Obviously, a spreadsheet of what's still there and what is still needs to be sold off. That to me would make the most sense for those 3 spreadsheets. Because obviously we'd need one for the inventory list, the spreadsheets of what has been sold and how much Brian gets for that, and obviously the store as well, and what's still left to sell. That to me is what would make the most sense of those 3 spreadsheets. So if we could see those spreadsheets, that would be great. That would be great. Again, why can't we have these Collectors Weekly podcast links along with the timestamps? Why can't we have that? Because I doubt anyone's going to want to, go... I'm sure some people will, but I don't want to be doing that, Show me the evidence. Just make it easy on everyone. So October 24 to November 8th, 24. Crystal notifies corporate of closure interest. Store transition begins. So yeah, her life partner, who's also called Brian. A lot of Brian's. There's a lot of Brian's in this. Had a opportunity overseas for publishing because I believe Crystal's partner's an author, if I remember correctly. So they had obviously, chance to, go overseas for work. Crystal's partner. BAM Corporate and Crystal were aware that she owed just under $200,000 in unpaid royalties, unpaid lease, and covered vendor bills, rendering her insolvent and triggering BAM Corporate's security interest in the inventory. BAM Corporate owed Crystal nothing. Okay, I'm not verified on all the legal technical jargon in this, so I do apologise. November 8th, Crystal personally asked to speak to BAM Corporate about her intended move overseas. Agreement was reached she would hand over the store on November 14th smoothly. BAM Corporate would not pursue for the full $200,000 she owed. She agreed, giving her close to a week to prepare. At no point in October nor on November 8th did Crystal say a single word about the consignment collection in store to BAM Corporate. Here we go. The spice is where it gets this gets a little bit interesting. So, November 14th, handover and first mention of consignment. November 14th, Brandon Best, who was along with Josh, owned the store after Crystal. Arrived at the store close to store close to begin the transition. That needs a comma there. Crystal became uncooperative, refused to hand over the keys as agreed or to provide access codes, and was observed making multiple trips to her car. Her partner, Benjamin Gorman, also arrived to assist her. What's the point of mentioning in these multiple trips to the car? I'd imagine that's probably to do with this again, is giving Crystal the benefit of a doubt. This is just, for personal belongings, going back and forth there. That's what I would imagine. From this security footage that we saw, which does mention the consignment, it doesn't seem like Crystal was being uncooperative. But I don't think we've seen the other bits of it, I don't think. Yeah, there is that. In response from a BAM worker assisting Brandon in real time evidences a statement that that's a business matter. This is to do with a consignment. Yeah. So obviously, she mentioned the consignment in the security cam footage that we have. And then obviously, that's the BAM worker saying it's a business matter. Brandon will take on the business. He takes on all of that. Even though Josh in the police body cam footage saying, I didn't sign this. I don't have to do with it. Right. When you buy a company or just like a franchise of a company, I'm pretty sure, unless it's specified in the contract, you have to take care of everything. An example I would give is a Formula One example. There was a team 7-8 years ago called Force India. They were in severe financial trouble. They ended up going into administration, which is like they just put like the pause bowl on everything, and the company's in like a bubble so it can be protected. That's the abbreviated version of this. So Force India goes into administration. Then there is a consortium led by Lawrence Stroll, who is the son of F1 driver Lance Stroll. Need a sip of drink to get rid of a sick coming up by mentioning Lance Stroll. So Lawrence Stroll ended up buying Force India, but he didn't just, end up buying just, the cars so we could racing. He bought everything. Obviously the facilities, obviously the cars, everything to do with Force India he paid. Even the debt Force India had accumulated, he would pay. The only thing he didn't pay for was the only thing he didn't get was the team entry for Formula One, but that's a different topic entirely. But everything else he had bought. And he obviously, obviously, like I said, Force India was in a ton of debt and he paid it off like he was supposed to. So Josh saying, I didn't sign any of this. I don't have to agree. I don't have to honour it. Yes, you do. He did have to honour it. Crystal shared this footage publicly, but only a portion of it. A significant amount of footage from earlier that day is absent from what we believe she later released to Brian. I would like to see the rest of that, I'm going to be honest. I would very much like to see that. Crystal was formally terminated in writing that evening based on prior and documented breaches of a franchise agreement. She eventually left the store. Brandon secured it and obtained keys for the first time. The store was in a rundown condition with very little inventory, approximately $40,000. Before leaving, Crystal removed cash from the till, attempted to print store records, and shared confidential footage without authorization. Again, Collectors Weekly podcast. Can we have that link along with timestamps in this blog post? That would be much appreciated. November 14th to 22nd, 24. Brian comes to store, sends termination notice. Brian attempts to shoot Crystals on 14th, 15th, and 18th. No response. Call the store the Thursday, learned the first time Crystal was gone. And the store had changed hands. I do think Brian should have been notified. Whether that probably would have been best for Crystal, because again, it seems like Josh and Brandon just dug their heads in the sand with this and just did not want to have any part in this whatsoever. So Brian came out to the store 3 times to print out his contract and inventory list. He was met with confusion from new incoming franchisees, who did not recognise the agreement. Brandon confirmed Bam was not a party to it. Josh was also present and accompanied Brian through front of the store, where Brian could not identify any of his collection on display. So Brian calls out the Rosas. Officers deemed it was a private civil matter, which again, we saw with Breakfast Ben's video. So 22nd, Brian sends email notice addressing the store formally and terminating the consignment agreement between him and Crystals LLC, citing failure to pay for November installment and refusal to allow inventory inspection. Again, we've got the I'm going to stop mentioning the podcast thing because that's just going to annoy me throughout. December 24th to April 25, BAM offers inventory and public campaign begins. Ooh, okay. So, late November or early December 24, Brandon and Josh discover approximately 25 Star Wars sets in a closed closet in the back. They do not think of anything of the fact that these had small stickers on them, and they kept these sets segregated as they tried to determine what they were. You had someone say that there was a consignment with the previous owner, and we do all that, and you don't you don't put two and two together, thinking, oh, these could be Brian's Lego sets. I don't know how Josh and Brandon did not I don't know how they did not figure that out. Obviously, this is a benefit of hindsight, obviously. But yeah, I imagine this is definitely me with the benefit of hindsight. I don't understand how they could not have put two and two together, especially with the consignment, and they must have had paperwork of this. They must have had paperwork. In December 2024, they were still unsure whether they belonged to Brian. Bram showed these sets and offered to give Brian these sticker sets as they felt bad for Crystal's apparent mishandling of the situation, despite no reliable evidence of this ownership. But Crystal had 3 spreadsheets, did she not? Where are these? This offer was not accepted by Brian Mansell, which I think he's completely in the right to do. Oh, Teddy, that was a big sigh. My dog's chilling on my bed, and you just let out a massive sigh. You are chilling there, aren't you, mate? Anyway. So from November 24 to April 25, Brian exchanged messages with BAM Corporate and BAM's legal team. No result was reached. So we could have not known anything about this situation if BAM had just said, look, we're sorry for all this trouble. Just approximately, we'll help you through this. Just if we can work out how much you're still owed, we will just pay it for you. We could have not known about this situation, but because, BAM are, we're dragging, they've been dragging, kicking and screaming. It's just blown up to the point where they have no fucking reputation now whatsoever. And then obviously we've got April 16th, 25 with the podcast. Again, I want a link and I want timestamps. I don't know why that was so hard to put in. I don't understand. I do not understand why. Up to June 4th, 26, BAM takes action. Following an internal investigation, BAM, with internal and external help, discovered new evidence of negligence. 3 sets of books that were maintained by Crystal, a personal email, which she retained undisclosed access to, and after leaving, was still connected to company data, POS records, significantly unresponded to sales to Brian. Due to an online disparagement campaign of Reckless Ben. Oh, it's not a campaign. We just feel, along with me, is that Brian and his family have been wronged, and we just want to see, I'll use Bam's words, him made whole, Brian's just he just wants the money and just to get out, and then obviously Reckless Ben can deal with the rest of it. BAM and franchise owner Brandon and Josh were forced to temporarily close the store June 4th for permanent closure of the Salem, Oregon store, and complete mutual separation of company between Brandon and Josh franchisees were announced. We'll get into that. We'll get into that one after I have done. Just had a break, and I'll probably put some food in the oven as well. CEO Amber McNeff personally extended an invitation to talk to Brian with direct offer to sit down, talk, review spreadsheets, consignment agreements, and POS data, and attempts to informally and fairly resolve problems associated with Crystal's dealings with him, including offering to take every Lego Star Wars item remaining in the Salem store, whether his is identified or not. Otherwise, find a way he may be made whole. Anything demonstrated to be accounted for. Why did you not do this from the fucking beginning? Why was this not done from the fucking beginning? This is just companies. It's like, even if it's just like, you know, they're missing like a penny, they will chase this fucking penny. Or just like chase it. I just don't understand why it's taken this long. Whether this will happen or not, I don't know, because I think obviously, you know, Brian Mansell would have to agree to this. So, I don't... Yeah, this situation is just so painful because of how long just how quick and easy it should have been dealt with. Bam is not gonna miss. I'll use the low number, 100k. They are not gonna miss 100k. They are just not. But they're making it such a fuss over 100k. As part of a proposed sit-down meeting, BAM even indicated a willingness to potentially dismiss Brian personally as a named defendant in the lawsuit against Alex Ben and others relating to defamatory online videos and other misconduct referenced therein. Not only take Brian out of the lawsuit, but just not like, just make it guaranteed he will be taken out, because I think Brian will be a lot more willing to do so and talk to BAM if he just says, right, we'll just take you out of it completely and just pay you the rest of what you're owed. I do not understand why they're insistent on just pursuing of this lawsuit. It doesn't make them look any good, because even if they win, it's the court of public opinion, because BAM just looks like a completely greedy, shady company. Reckless Ben looks the best in this situation, regardless if they do decide to drop this lawsuit or not. Because I think I'll just remember to tweet, even if BAM wins and they destroy Reckless Ben, because they destroy Reckless Ben, they still lose because of a court of public opinion. It makes them look extremely bad. But obviously they reference the GoFundMe, which the police somehow get Ben arrested for, with 350k, which I believe would probably get, after they pay, if that goes to Brian, I imagine the rest of it will be used for Reckless Ben's legal fund. So yeah, there's that. Because I am a good son, I will be back in a little bit, because I'm going to go bring the washing in for my mother, and I shall see you all in about 5 minutes or so. So I shall be back.